Hello everyone, I'm Sahil and you are watching infotechprogrammer. So today we will discuss the full tutorial of C language from starting to till end, all the basics of C language that are very useful for you and what you want to learn all will be here in this video. What we will do is here we will start from the scratch. So we will just follow a documentation here. So what we will do here, I will also tell you that how to learn a language by yourself by following a proper documentation and then performing the programs also in Visual Studio Code here. So if you want to revise the C language, then this is the best video for you. If you don't know the C language or if you forgot the C language, then you can revise your whole concepts of C language from this video. So watch this video from starting to till end. So I guarantee you that you will recover your all concepts of C language very properly. So without further delay, let's get started. So we'll open our Visual Studio Code and then what we will do here is we will start our program. So before starting the program, we will just install a compiler because without compiler we can't run C or C++ programming Visual Studio Code. So what we will do it here is now we will install a compiler and for that we will go to the Google and then we will search WinGW. So click on the first link here and then here we will click on the download. We will download this WinGW installer and after installing what we will do, we will just open this. I will also provide the link in description also. So I am just saving it in my desktop. So you will also save this and then you will open the setup and then install and then continue. So this is error showing to me. You will not get this error because I had already installed this, but for you I will install it again. So if you are installing it first time, so no error will be shown to you. So now I will run this. So you can see here loading package and it is just installing and it has just installed. So you have to what you have to do it here is you have to select the two files. Go to basic setup and then WinGW32 base and then WinGW GCC G++ compile. So you have to install these two. So if you will install these two, then you can run your C program. So first of all, this one you will select your mark for installation and then second one also mean this one. You just right click here, right and wait it here and then click on mark for installation. And similarly for the second one, mark for installation. So I am doing it here. You have to do it on the second and fifth one. Why it is green, but here it will be not green. So I had already installed this. You had not installed this. So while installing this, you will just mark on installation. So you will mark on installation these both files, and then what you have to do is click on installation and then apply changes. So after clicking on apply changes, you will click on apply here, and after clicking on apply, it will start downloading the package and then install on your system. So this will be installed on the system and then what you have to do is you have to add the path on the environment variables. So how you will add the path? You will go to your this PC, just go in the C drive, you will find your WinGW. So in WinGW you will select the bin and then you will copy this path that I am copying it from here. So after copying that, you have to search an environmental variable. I will just search an environment. You can see edit the system environment as name. I will just click here, then open this environment variables, and here I will edit the path. Path of system variable will be added, and I will click on new here, and then I will add the path, WinGW bin, and then OK. But after doing that, what I will do, I will open my Visual Studio Code. Why? Because now after installing this, my Visual Studio Code, I can run my program. So before starting the program, before starting a new file, I also want to tell you something else. That is, you have to also install one extension. That is CodeRunner. So you will go here and click on extensions and then search at CodeRunner. So we will search at CodeRunner and then we will install this extension. After installing this, what will happen? You can see a triangle sign here. This triangle sign will use to run your code. So this code will help you to run your C and C++ code. So after installing that, now we will start with our programs. So now we have to start with our program. So we will create a new file. Here I will create a new file by clicking this like first.c. Going to say that first program of C. So .c is extension of C language. So you have to specify that extension .c. Then only your program will run accurately. Now what we have to do, first in starting we have to include the header files. So we will use dash include and then stdio.h. This is the standard header file for C language. And then we have to start with main function. So for main function here we can write int main, then we have to do use this and then two curly braces and then enter, and then now we will write our main program here. But still before that we will write here return 0 and then semicolon. So what is semicolon? Semicolon is used for every statement which we have to terminate. If we have to terminate any statement, so we will use semicolon. So now let's start our program. Like first of all, we know how what we have to do. First of all, we always print something. Like we will do printf. Printf is a function that will be used to print anything. Hello, and now we will use semicolon in the end, and then we will run this program from here. So you can see it is running or not. So compiler will process the files and create a exe file, and then it will show here our hello text. So what C is doing, as I had told you in the last video, that it will create a exe file. The linker will create a exe file that will run. This exe file is running here and showing us the output. So this was the starting of that, and now we will see that how to learn it by yourself. So for that we have to just open that tutorial. Like I had opened this Javatpoint. So as you can see here, we had started here from this. Let me zoom it. So I'm zooming it so that you can see it. So now you can see it is written what is C language. So you have to study this what is C language, and then see why C is mother of other programming languages, and C as system programming languages, procedural languages. So these are the points that you have to study, and then you have to think that you have to make notes of that or not. And then what you have to do, if you have to start with programming, so you can see here. So here I am using Visual Studio Code, but if you want to use Tango C++, then what you have to do is you have to follow these steps by downloading this, and then create a Tango C directory, and then double click to install the exe file, and then click on the TC application file located inside C TC bin to write the C program. Here you can write the C program, and you can also see the screenshots how it is installing and how it is running. So you have to do similar things. So everything is available on tutorials. You have to just read the documentation and then just keep it in your mind and then start doing the work on it. So we will start here with our first C program. So you can see here the C program was hello C language. So we had also done here hello. You can just write here hello C language. So now we will run it again. So it will print here hello C language. So if you are using Turbo C++, and for that you have to do here is you can use it like this. Otherwise you can also include a clear screen. Like here you can use here before you turn 0, you can use a clear screen. Not in VS Code but only in Turbo C++. You can use this clear screen to clear this thing if you want to clear this thing. But here we will use a CLS to clear this. We will write a CLS, then it will clear our console, not terminal. So for using clear screen, you have to also enter a header file that is hash include conio.h. So here we don't need this, so we will not use this, and we will also not use this clear screen. So this was our first program of C, and now we will see another things. So it is showing us in Turbo C++ that how to compile that. So it's your duty to see it and learn it, that how to compile the program in Turbo C++. Then you can see here so many points are there, like compilation process, then what is printf, and then what is scanf. You can see it here. So what we have to do is we have to just read the documentation, and then we have to make the notes of that. After making the notes, we have to perform the program. So what we can do if we want to perform program as well as we have to read the documentation. So we can split our screen like this. So after splitting the screen, now I will start with the new program. So what can I name the new program? I will write a input.c. So I will just write my boilerplate code here. So now we will see here how to take the input. Never copy these things. You have to just write here by your hands. Not copy these things. If you will copy this, then you will not remember how to do this. I am making a tutorial, so I am just copying it to save my time, but you don't copy it. So now we can see here. You can see here code is not formatted properly. So what we can do, right click and then format document. So now code is formatted properly. So now what we can do here, we can see what is int number. So int number here, int is the type of the number. You to say that number is a variable, and then int is the data type of that. And then what we have right here, enter a number. That user will enter a number, and then scan a percentage d, comma and number. What we had written in this double quotes is percentage d. It determines that we are getting an integer value, and then this and number is showing that address of the number. Mean to say that the number will be stored in this address. And after that, printf cube of number is percentage d, comma number, star number, star number. Mean to say that cube of number, whatever the number will be, let it be the number is 5. So 5 star 5 star 5. So it will give us 125. So output will be here 125. So let us see it by running. So I will run this. So we can see it here. Enter number. I will enter 5 and enter. So cube of number is 125. If we want to do square, then we can do it here. Square. Can just delete one only. Now we will run it again. So square of number is 25. And this is how we can take the input by using this scanf function. And now let's see what is the next. So now next is a program to add two numbers by using this. So you can see here how it is adding two numbers by taking it input and then performing the result. So now I will perform it by myself here. So let us create a new program, add.c. So now we will start a. So first of all, we will create variable a, comma b. We are creating two variables. And now one more variable, int result. Or we can also say it add, but I will just write here result. And now what we will do is we will use here printf and then enter numbers. Why numbers? Because we want two numbers. And then we will take the input. So for that scanf and then in double quotes we have to take two inputs. So we will write percentage d 2 times and then comma and then here and a comma and b, so that it will be stored in a particular address variable a and b. And now just we will print the sum. For that we will use a result equal to a plus b. Mean to say that whatever will be the result, it will be added as a plus b. So now we will just print this. So how we can print it is sum equal to and then here percentage d and then comma and then result. So let's see how programming is running. First of all, let me clear this by CLS. Now let's see. So enter numbers. So I can write a 10 space 20 enter. So you can see sum is 30. We will run it again. So 20 enter 30 enter. So it is 50. So we can enter multiple values by using space or enter. So this was about adding. So here we come to know that this is known as a and b are variables. Result is also variable. Int is known as a data type. Printf is used to print the output. Scanf is used to scan the result as an input. So this was about the add program. So let's see what is next. Like next is k-var variables in C. So you can read from here that variable is the name of a memory location. It is used to store data. Its value can be changed and it can be reused many times. So what is the meaning of that? That variable is a memory location, name of memory location. You can see here A and B. What is this? Name of a memory location where the things will be stored. Like here we store the 20 and 30. After that, it is used to store data which we had already seen. Its value can be changed. It can be reused many times. So you can also see the rules here. A variable can have alphabet, digit, or underscore. So a variable can have alphabet, digit, or underscore. You can see here we are using digits. 50 is a digit, integer digit. So variable is having a digit. And we can also have a alphabets or underscore. After that, another rule is variable name can start with alphabet and underscore only. It can't start with a digit. Mean to say that it can't start with a number or a digit like this 1. We can't start with it 1. You can see here error escape. We can start it with an alphabet like A or underscore. So it will not give us error. After that, no white space is allowed within the variable name. So yes, you can see here. If I will write like this AA. So this is known as a variable name. No. You can see here the error has came, the red line has came. So we can't do it like this. And then variable name must not be reserved word or keyword, etc. So we'll see keywords afterwards here, keywords in C. So what are the keywords? Let me tell you, this printf is a reserved word or a keyword that we use here. This is a C function that we can't name as a variable name. So after that, now you can see different type of variables are there. You can read them. All your duty is to read these things and apply the things on your own on this code editor. So you can read these things and then apply it. but I will show you the main point of that. You can see here. What is this? Its value can be changed and it can be reused many times. So we will change the value here. How we will change the value? So before entering the numbers, let me close this. You can see here before entering the numbers, I will initialize these variables with a value like a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. So now the value of a and b is 10 and 20. And after that, when we will enter the value of a and b, it will be changed. So let's see. Let me print this sum again. So I will copy it and paste it here so that sum will be printed again here. So now we will run this. So you can see sum is 30 and then enter numbers. So you can see here no space is there. So for that, if we want it at the next line, you will use /n to print it in the next line. So now I will use it again. So you can see here sum equal to 30 and then come here enter numbers. So I will enter the numbers 20 and 50. So output should be 70. So you can see output is 70. So what is happening here? First of all, the value was 10 and 20. So output was 30. And now the value of variables are changed. That are 20 and 50. A is having value of 20 and B is having value of 50. So sum is 70. So result is 70. So you can see here the value of variable can change. And now let's see here data types and see. So we can see here there are 4 types of data type: basic, derived, enumeration, and void. So you have to study about these data types and make the notes by yourself. You can see here what is important for you. You can write that and then make your notes. But I will give you a brief. But I will give you a brief. But I will give you a brief. But I will give you a brief description about that. That what is basic, what is derived, enumeration, and void. So you can see here basic. Basic. What is basic? Int, char, float, and double. So this integer is a basic type of data type. So like I had told you, int is a variable. So similarly, you can see here char is a variable, float is a variable, double is a variable. So in char we can store a value like char variable equal to a. I think we have to use double quotes or single quotes. We will see it later on. So what will it store is single letter. So char will store a single character or a letter. After that we have float also. So what is float? Float will just store the values that are in decimal points or in floating point numbers. So float will store the values in floating point numbers like 1.2, 2.1, and then double will store in more precision. To say that 1.2.1.1. Let me show here 1.1.2111110.12. So this is a long floating point value. So it can't be stored in the float, but it can be stored in double. So after that, we have this derived data type that are array, pointer, structure, and union. These are the advanced topic. And then we have enum and then point. Now we are working with int, char, float, double. So we will use these things. So now we will see here keywords in C. So you can see here keywords in C. Keyword is a reserved word. You cannot use it as a variable name, constant name, etc. So you can see here keywords. These are the keywords that are reserved words like auto break, case, char. So you can see char is what? Char is a data type. So it is a reserved word. Char is a reserved word. So we can use it here. Like int is also a reserved word. You can see it here. So we can't use like this int a comma b comma int. You can see we can't use it like this. It will give us an. So this is what a keyword is. So keyword are the reserved words that we can't use as a variable name or constant name. So after that we will see here identifiers. What are identifiers? So you can read the whole documentation here, but I will tell you here that A is the identifier, B is the identifier, result is the identifier. So here you can see the A and B, these are identifier. So what is identifier? Identifier is that thing that we give as a name, like we are giving variable name, or we can give a constant name, or we can give a function name. So these are known as identifier. The result is identifier. It is identifying something. This is known as identifier. Rather than that, this printf, int, and the return 0. These are the reserved words. And after that, we have more. You can see here operators. So what are operators? An operator is simply a symbol that is used to perform operations. So you can see here this is a plus b. So plus is what? Operator. It is used to perform operation of plus, sum. So this is operator. So we have different type of operators like minus, plus, multiply, divide, and many more. So you can see here different type of operators. So when we will work with it, you will come to know more. So as I have told you, you have to learn it by yourself. If you have to learn it by yourself, so you have to study it by yourself. What do you have to do? You have to just read the things. And if you can't understand things by reading, then what to do? Then you have to just go to the YouTube. You don't have to follow any tutorial if you want to learn it properly. But if you want to follow, you can follow. But if you want to learn by yourself, then what you have to do, you have to read the documentation and then write the notes and then perform the programs by yourself on the code editor. But if you can't understand the things, then what you have to do? You have to go on YouTube and just search. Like I can't understand array, so you will write a array in C language. So you can see the array tutorials and came here. First of all is called with array. You have to just open it and then run it, and you will see how properly he has explained everything. And if you want it in English, then write it in English. So what will happen? It will start in English. So you can see it, understanding arrays in C, edu Rekha. So it is a great YouTube channel. You can understand the arrays in C like this by viewing the video here. So these are the steps that you have to follow. So you can see here the operators and can work with it. And after that we have comments. So what are the comments? So you can see here there are two type of comments, single line and multi-line. So what are the comments? So you can see here there are two type of comments, single line and multi-line. So what are the comments? So as we had seen operators, so for operator we will just perform a arithmetic operator function say. We will just make a little calculator. Like we had taken two values a and b and then int, add, subtract, multiply, comma, divide. Now we will write here printf, enter numbers, and then we will scan the numbers. So for that scanf, and for that percentage d, comma a, comma b, with and also to specify the address that we are storing here. And now we will just do our logical things. That is add equal to a plus b. And similarly for subtraction, what we will do, we will just use that minus. So for subtraction, we will use minus, and here we will name it subtraction sub, and then for multiplication and for division. So what we are doing here is for multiplication it is star, and for division it is slash. So I'm changing it also here mul mul and div div. So we will now print the things here. So first of all sum equal to and then comma sum. Similarly, we will do it for other things. Sorry, we have to not add a sum, but add because variable name is add. And then we will do for others like we will just if we want to copy paste, so you can copy paste like here in the code, but don't copy from the outside. So you have to just write a subtraction, and here you have to write multiplication, and here you have to write division, and also you have to change it here. Like I will change it to subtraction, here to multiplication, here to division. We can also do modulus here if you want to do modulus, mod mod. So mod will what will do, it will just print a remainder of the things. So we can also do here modulus and mod modulus for that. So now let's run this program. I have to also use mod here. Now let's start the program. Error, there is an error. Let's see what is the error. Error 1D return 1 status. Oh, I forgot to write a percentage D in all the things because I had done C++ right now, and now I am doing the Java. That's why I just forgot the things. So now we can print it here. Percentage D we had written. So now also it is showing us error by warning implicit declaration of function scan D. We had also done a bad practice here. We have to write a scanf, not scan D. So this is how you can also see that what are the errors. It's showing us the error that what is the error. scan D, we know we have to use a scanf. So this is how we can just see the errors and then resolve them. Now let's play it again. So enter numbers. So I will enter 10 and 5 and then enter. So it is showing me everything. Let me clear it. First of all, let me print it by using slash n. Why slash n? So that it will come in the next line. So now it will be okay. So let's run it again. So enter numbers 10 and 5. So you can see sum is 15, subtraction is 5, multiplication is 50, division is 2, and modulus is 0. So this is the role of operators: plus, minus, multiply, divide, and others. So this is how you can use operators and work with operators. Now we will see the next topic. So the next topic was about comments. So now we will just create a new file here, comments.c. Now we will create a program. So we will just use a variable int a equal to 10 and then printf, and here we will print percentage d comma a. So if I in between use anything else like I will use here a equal to 20. So what will happen? It will print a as a 20. Like you can see here, the value will be 20 here. But if I will comment it like this is known as comment. Double slash or by multi-line comment, you can comment this. Now I will run this. So it will show me 10. So this code is not happening here. Mean to say that this code has no effect here. So whatever we will write in comments, that will have no effect in our overall program. So you can also write multi-line comments like this slash star, and then when we have to end that comment, where we have to end the comment, there we can use a star and then slash. So whatever we will write here will not run in our main program. So we will run it again. So it will not show us any error. You can see it here. It is already printing the 10. So this is known as comments. So I will also write here single line, and here I will write here multi-line, because I also have to provide you this code. So this is about our comments. Now there are many things like format specifier, escape sequence. You can also read these things. Format specifier, I has also told you that what are these things. Percentage D as what we have to use here at the place of float, decimal, or character, or anything else. So you can see and read these format specifiers and also take the notes from here. And then we have escape sequence. So what is escape sequence? Slash A, slash B, slash F, slash. So you can also read them. Like I had written here slash n. You can see here in my program of operator, we had written slash n. So slash n is what it is doing? It is escaping one line. So this is known as escape sequence. So you can also read these sequence and work with them. So after comments, now you can also see these topics. If you want to learn these, you can just watch them by clicking on them and then reading them and then applying the programs on your Visual Studio Code. And if we have to do main topics here, basics in the main topics, so I will just start with control statements in C. So first of all, control statements like C if else. So you can see here what are control statements. Let us first of all see. Let us see what are control statements here. So you can see a flow chart. What is it is showing is it is showing the control of a program. So flow control of a program. So by reading these things, you will come to know that what is actually control statement, how the flow of the program is controlled. So you can see first of all we have if statement, then if else, then else if later, then nested if. So we will start here with if statement. So you can just see the program from here like this, and you can run here. But I will just make a single program here of control statements, and then we will do program in that like control statements dot c. So now we will perform the control statements here. So let me first of all tell you what are control statements. Control statements are those statements which are used to control the flow of program. So now I will show you the example here by making a program, then we will come to know that how the flow of program is controlled. Like I have written here a equal to 10. So now if I want to control the flow of program, so what I will do, first of all, we will use that if statement. So what if statement do? Like if a is greater than 10, then it will print for us, like I am writing here printf. So it will print for us the largest number. So now we will run this and we will see what will happen. So let me clear this first. Now you can see here, I will run this here. Nothing will happen. Why nothing will happen? You can see it is controlling the statement. This is the statement and this condition is controlling. If a is greater than 10, then only it will print this. But a is not greater than 10, it is equal to 10. So if we will do it here 11, and now we will run the program. So you can see the output will be the largest number. So this is the flow control of a program, that how a program can be controlled, how the statements can be controlled using if else statements or switch statement or for loop, etc. So after if statement, we will see else statement also. Like if a is greater than 10, then it will print the largest number, but a is not greater than 10 here. So else, what it will do here, it will print for us something else. So I will just copy paste here. So what you have to do is, now we will write here smallest number, the smallest number. We know now a is less than 10. So it will not print this one, but it will print this one. So you can see here the smallest number is printed. So as per written here, you can see here what it is written. If else statement in C is used to perform operations based on specific conditions. The operations specified in block are executed if and only if the given condition is true. So you can see here if the condition is true, then only the statement will be executed. But here a is greater than 10, this statement is not true. It is false. That's why this is not executed. So else block is executed because else block is true. So this was about if else statement. Now we will also see else if statement here. So we can also use else if here. How? Let me show you. Let me use here another number like a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Let's say that it is 20. So now we will print our else if. So if now we will use here condition something else, like if a is greater than b, then it will print the largest number. And if b is greater than a, then it will print the largest number here. But how we will differentiate that? So we will write here a and here we will write b. So now we can check here. We know that b is greater than a. So just run here b is greater than a. So you can see here the largest number is b. But if we will make it 30, then what will happen? Now this statement is true. So this will run. Let's run it. So now you can see it, the largest number is a. So you can also perform it by using else, but if you want to particular condition, so you can use this. Like if we will do now else. So in else, what we will say that what will be the else condition now? It is not greater than, it's not less than. So what will be in the else condition? So in else condition, it will determine that a is equal to b. So the program will understand that if it is not greater than and if it is not less than, then a should be equal to b. So like if we had written here a equal to 20 and b is also equal to 20, here we will write equal, and then we will test the program that it is printing equal or not. It has given us an error. It has given the error because of I have not written here printf. So now printf, and now we will run this. So you can see here equal. So now equal has came here. So now we have done it with two numbers. We can also do it with three numbers here. We can see there is a big program of that to compare the three numbers here. 12, 13, 20, 12, 23, and 34. And then 34 is the largest number we had seen here. If we want to do it by ourselves, then how we will do? So this was all about the control statement. Let me rename this program to if else. So I had renamed this program to if else so that we can make a new program. Here we will check largest among three dot c. So now we will check how which is the largest value among the three values. So we will just declare a variables here a comma b comma c, and now we will just scan the value. So before scanning, what we will do, we will print here for the output that enter numbers. We will write it enter three numbers. Then it will be okay for the user to see that. And then here semicolon and then scanf. In scanf we will use a percentage d, comma, and a comma, comma, and b, comma, and c. Let me remove this from there. What we have to do for that, Control B. So you can see the Explorer is hidden now. So now we can see the program further. Now what we will do? Now we have to use the if else statements to compare the three values. So what we will do, first of all, we will just so now we will test the conditions like if A is greater than B, and we will use an AND operator, and A is greater than C. So what is the AND operator? AND operator is the operator like we had used in arithmetic operator for plus minus. So AND is used to check the two conditions. Like if this condition will be true as well as this will be true, then only the statement will be executed. We also have an OR operator here. So we can also use OR operator, but OR what will it do if A is greater than B, but if A is less than C, then also it will print the statement. Then also it will run the statement. So that's why we use an AND. So AND will check the both conditions. A is greater than B and A is greater than C. And then we will print here that percentage D is largest, comma A. So now what we will do, I'm just copying it, and now I will use a else if statement. Else if, now what I will write is B is greater than A as well as B is greater than C, then the largest number will be B. And then in the last we will write here else, what will be printing here now? And now we will print here that the largest number is C1. So we will print here for the C here, largest number is C. Now we will check the conditions, and so now we will run the program. So we will enter the values 10, 20, and 30. So you can see 30 is the largest. Now we will run it again from here. So now we will enter 30, 20, and 10. So 30 is the largest again. So whatever we will write, that will be the largest. So let me check the other condition here, like 70, 80, 50. So 80 is the largest. So we have checked it for A also, B also, and C. So here it is C is the largest, and here A is the largest, and here B is the largest. So our program logic is accurate. So this is how we can use our if else and else if statements. So now we will see another program. So you can go through these all programs from here. Like I am just performing what I know from it. So you can go through the all programs from here if you want to perform. I'm just telling you what it is necessary to tell. So what is switch? So if we want don't want to use this else if statement again and again for more things, and if we want to select a particular one case, then we use the switch statement. So you can also read from here that instead of if else or else if ladder, that we had used here else if. So instead of this, if it allows us to execute multiple operations for different possible values of a single variable called switch variable. So we will just use a single variable here, and according to that variable we will just print our output. Now we will see the switch statement program. It is better that you can read the documentation and understand it by yourself. That what it is doing. It is just checking the case. Like we had given here the input of that number that is here. Like we are giving an input of number 4 that is stored here in this number variable. And then what is happening? We had just put it into the switch statement here number. Then we are checking the cases, like case 10. Want to say that if number 10 will be entered, then this will be printed. And if number 50 will be entered, then this will be printed. And if 100 is entered, then this will be printed. And then the default case. Want to say that if none of these cases will be entered, means not 10, not 50, not 100 is entered, then this statement will be executed. And you can see here, first of all, case, and then statement, and then break to break that case. And then next case, then statement, then break. You can also see from here if it is written here. So you can see the syntax. Syntax is like that. Say case, then value 1, then break, case, then value 2, then break. Similarly, it is happening here. So after this is the output that he has numbered the input 4. So he has entered the input 4. So number is not equal to 10, 50, or 100. The output of that default statement is 0. So if we will enter the 50, then the number is equal to 50. This is how switch statement works. So there are many more programs here about switch statement. You can just see them. So you can also see here if else where switch, you can read this documentation and come to know that what is the difference between if else and switch. So we will now go to our next topic, that is C loops. So what are loops? So looping can be defined as repeating the same process multiple times until a specific condition satisfies. So mean to say that if we have to print here like this, print f and then a and then semicolon. If we have to print it 10 times, that is say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 times. So what we will do, we will write this print statement 10 times and then we will print the output. So you can see that 10 times a is printed. So, but if we will use our loops, then what will happen? We will just write here one time. We will just write here printf one time and then using the loop, it will print it 10 times. So we will see the loops here now. Let me control Z this because I don't want to delete this program from here. So this was the original program. Now we will start here the loops. So first of all, let's see what is the first loop here. First is do while and then for. So first is the do while loop. But first of all, I will tell you about the while loop. Why while loop? I will tell you later on. Then while dot see. So we'll see here while loop. So for that we will write a program here. So we will write an int. So now what we have to do in this program? So you have to print from 1 to 10. So if you want to print from 1 to 10, then you can't write a printf 1, printf 2, printf 3. So instead of that, what we will do it here now, we'll just initialize a variable like count equal to 1. Okay. And now we'll start our while and then what we have to write a condition. So what will be the condition? That count is greater than or equal to 10. So if the count will be greater than or equal to 10, then the statement will be running. So what will be the statement here? Printf and then percentage %d comma count. So it will run the count. So now count value is 1. So first of all, it will run for the 1. And then how it will check it again? It can't check it again. So we have to here increment the value of 1. So what we will do? Count equal to count plus 1. So what it will do? It will first of all check the condition and it will see that it is less than 10. It will print this count and then it will increment the value of count by 1. So it will be then 2. And after that it will again check, then it will be 3 and again and again and again, and in last it will be 10. And after 10 it will not increment the value. If it increments the value by 1, it will be 11. So if it will be 11, then while count is less than equal to 10, it will be not satisfied. This statement will be false. That's why this program will not run further. So now let's run this program and see what will be the output. So we can check it here. Output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think we must include here one more thing, that is slash n, backslash n for the next line character. So we will run the program again so that it will be printed line by line. So now you can see it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all the 10 numbers are printed. So instead of using their count plus 1, you can also do one more thing. We have an increment operator. So you can just use their count plus plus. It will do the same thing. Same thing. Mean to say that count plus 1. It will just increment the value of count by 1. So now we will again check the value. It will be the same value. You can see the same value 1 to 10. So this is what the while statement do it here. So now we can see what is do while statement. Why I had tell you afterwards. Now I will tell you why I had tell you afterwards the do while statement. So do while dot c. So I am just copying that program from while because it is similar to that. We have to just do a slight change. So where got the do? So where is the do while program? Do while, do while, do while. This is the do while. So we will just do it here. So what we have to do in do while? So in do while, what we have to do, instead of writing a while, first of all we will write a do, and then in the last here after this braces and we'll use a while, and then here we will specify our condition. So instead of specifying here, we will specify there. So I am cutting this. So now you can see it properly what we are doing here. And then after doing this, we have to use a semicolon. So now it is okay. So what it will print? It will print same this thing 1 to 10. So let us run this program and see. So it is printing same or not? So it is printing same 1 to 10. So what is the logic behind that? So what do while statement do is here? First of all, it will do. Mean to say that it will run the program for the first time. Printf percentage d slash n, mean to say that it will run the program. So 1 will be printed at the first time, and then it is incremented also to 2. And then what is happening? Now it is checking the condition while count is less than equal to 10. Mean to say that it will not check the condition first, like here while has checked the condition first, but here first of all the program will be running for the first time, and then the condition will be checked. So that's why do is run here first time, and then while statement is checked. If you can't understand, let me give you the example like this. If I will just use there 0, not 0. So I will just use a 11. So now what will happen? You can see it will print it for one time. Can just run the program. You can see it will print the program for one time. You can see here it is printing the value 11. So this will not happen in the while. Why? Because here in while, if we will do this thing, like it will do 11, and then we will run the program. So you can see here, nothing has came up. Why? Because it is checking the condition first and then printing the statement. So if the condition is false, it will not print the statement. That's why it is not printing. But in do while, what is happening? In do while, it is executing the condition first and then checking the condition and then checking here the while condition. So this was about do while loop, and now we will do the for loop. So now let's do the for loop. So for dot c. So now we will write the for program also. We will write the similar program. Int count. But I think we don't have to initialize it. For the for you have to just write a single line program here. For the for you have to just write a single line here. For, and then here we will write int count. So you can declare your variable or initialize your variable within the for loop, and then semicolon, and then we will use the condition. That what is the condition? Condition is count is less than equal to 10. So this is our condition. And in the end, if we want to perform any operation like I am performing here count plus plus. So what it will do here? So it will just run here the command like if I will print here printf, and then I will print here percentage d comma count. And I will also use this time as backslash n, so that our program should be running in a proper line. I will run this program, so output will be same 1 to 10. So you can see. So now let's see the logic of this. First of all, we had initialized a variable by 1, and then we had checked the condition that it is true or not. So it is true that it is less than equal to 10, and then we had added that value. So what is happening? First it is initialized that, then it is checking the condition. But after checking the condition, it is printing the value, and then it is incrementing the value. And then what is happening? It is again checking the condition. Now the value will be 2 here, and similarly the operation will be performed until it will be 10. So this is the difference between all these. So now similarly, let's say if we had done the for loop, so let's just make a more program that is even.c to print the even numbers. So what we will do now here, we will print the even numbers till 20, let's say that will be 20. So we will just do a number, no number, so that we can determine that it is a number. And here what we will do is count equal to count plus 2. Now it will print only the even numbers. So first even number will be the 2, I think so. Sorry, I have to not write it out, but n number, because we have changed the variable name. Now we'll see it will print the even numbers from 2 to 20. So you can see here 2, 4, 6, all are the even numbers. So this is how you can also print the even numbers. And other than that, if we want to print the odd numbers, and what we will do here, we will just add here. Again, what we will add here, we will add here 2. So now we will print the odd numbers. So you can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 19, all are the odd numbers. So if we will start from 1, then all numbers will be there. If we will start from 2, we will print even numbers. So I think I should write here for even number. So you can see the program and can use for the odd number also. So now this was all about the control statements. You can see here while loop, for loop, etc. After that, there are more advanced things here: nested loop, infinite loop, etc. that you can see. And after that, see break. What was break? If we had seen in the switch statement, so we had seen there the break is used there to terminate that condition, to terminate that statement. But let's make a break program also. Let's see the break program first of all. Just we will use it there. So I am just copying it from here, but so you can see here that break program is made. So I think I should describe it here only. So you can see it here. What is happening? It is just initialize one variable and then started a for loop as we had done earlier. It will print from 0 to 10. It will not print from 1 to 10, but 0 to 10. Why? Because value is 0, and then it will check for less than 10. So it will print from 0 to 9, not 0 to 10. So as we had seen the earlier program of for loop, it is similar to that. I equal to 0, I less than 10. where it is not equal to 10. So it will went from 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But what happens in between is we had just use one if statement. If I equal to 5, then break. So what it will do, it will just break the statement. So it will just come out of this loop after checking this condition. Means it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after that what it will do, it will not increment the value. After 5, it will not increment. When it will come to 5, it will check the condition that I is equal to 5. Then what I have to do is I have to break through that statement. So to break through that statement, and it will come out of the for loop and it will not execute that condition. Now it will execute the another condition that will be out of the for loop, that is came outside of the for loop. So you can see it here, the output. So it is it. So what it is performing is here. So if I is equal to 5, it has just breaked and it is out of the loop. So it is checking from 0 to 5 and it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after 5, it is breaking the statement and coming out of the loop. So this is the use of the break statement. You can also read from here, the break is a keyword used to bring the program control out of the loop. What I had said earlier, that is written here. You can also read more things from here. And after that, now we will check the last control statement here, that is last mode, second last control statement, that is continue. So what continue will do, it will just skip one portion from that. You can see here, it has written here, it will bring the program control to beginning of the loop. It will continue statement, skips some lines of the code inside the loop and continues with the next iteration. So what is the main meaning of that is it will skip some line of the code. We will check here that how it will skip. So we will check here this program, which is printing from 1 to 10 as we have done earlier. So it is just checking here. So as we have done earlier, it is written here the same thing. So after that, it is written here, if I equal to 5, then continue, where continue statement is used. So for this, what we have to see it here is that it will skip this 5 portion. So let's say it is skipping this 5 or not. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is skipped from it. So this is the major work of the continue statement. It will skip the iteration of the step where the condition is checked and where this condition is met. So if I will be equal to 5, it will skip that portion and it will not print that portion. It will not print the 5. And then end of the loop, and after that it will go to 6 and then it will start printing from the 6. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is about continue. Then there is go to statement. So what go to will do? Go to will just go to the starting or go to the particular place where the what the variable or what the thing is shown. So what go to will do? Let's see that the go to statement is known as a jump statement. As the name suggests, go to is used to transfer the program control to the defined label. So if we will define a label here, so it will transfer the program to that one. So let me show you the example here. So you can see here the example 10 value 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that it is printing a table here. So how it is printing? So first of all, number is equal to 1, then print the number whose table you want to print. Then we have just taken the input here. Like if we have taken the input here 10, so input 10 is taken and it is stored in this number. And then table, we have written a table. Then printf percentage d comma percentage d equal to percentage d, mean to say that the number num into I equal to num into I. So you can't understand it like this. Let me just copy it and paste it here in the Visual Studio Code so that you can understand the go-to statement, because it is also used in many different programs, so it is efficient for you. It is necessary for you. So you can see it now here. Let me zoom it more. So now you can see. So the number is num, and then so what we have done here is we have started with declaration of two variables num and then initialization of one variable. So we have started here with int num, mean to say that declared a number variable, and then we had also initialized one variable, that is I equal to 1. After that, what we have done is print enter the number whose table you want to print. So user will enter the number, like user will enter, like I will enter 3 here. So if I will enter 3, so what will happen? We will just scan the number 3 here. After that, we had specified here table. So what is the table here? We can see here it is used to repeat something. So what is a table? So what is a table here? We can see from here. It is written here that goto is used to transfer the program control to predefined label. So we have just predefined the label here, that is table. And then what we had done there, printf percentage d into percentage d equal to percentage d, mean to say that the number will be 3, and then into 3. Why? Because number we had written taken input, that is 3. And then into mean to say that multiply. Multiply sign will be shown here, not multiply. Actually, multiply will be not done here. And then what will be there? You can see here that is I. So second is I. So for I, what will be there? I is 1. So first of all, 1 will be there, and then equal to, and then percentage D for the num star I. So here finally 3 into 1 is done. So 3 into 1 is 3. And then I plus plus. And then what we have done, incrementally the value of I. So now I will be 2. So now I will be 2 here. So we just cut it and paste it here. And then when I will be 2, then we will just run here the if statement. If I is less than equal to 10. It is also like a looping statement, you can say, but it is usually the go-to statement. So the condition is checked if I is less than or equal to 10. So this I is less than or equal to 10 because I is equal to 2. So now it will go to table. So it will go back to this table statement here and then run this statement again. So now it will run this statement again like 3 into 2 equal to 6. So this will run this statement again and again until this specified condition will be met. So when I will be 10 here, after performing all calculation, when I will be 10, then it will just stop the execution of the go-to statement. So now we will just see this program by running this. It is okay or not. So now we will run this program. So let's see the output. So what is the output here? So the output will be if I will print it here, if I will enter the number 3, enter. So table of 3 is printed here. But why it is not printing 1? Because I had written there I equal to 2. If I will use here I equal to 1 and run this again. So now the whole 3 table will be printed here. Like I will now print the 5 table. So 5 table is printed. So this was about the go-to statement. This was all about our C language basics. And after that, I think we should do 2 to 3 more things like functions, array, and pointers, because these are the data types, derived data types that we can do. So we will see what is function. So if you are running this program, let me show you like this. If you are running this program, if you want to add something, so what you will do, you will just write here sum equal to a plus b. But if you have to add the numbers like a will be, first of all, a will be 10, 20, and then next time a will be 20 and then b will be 50. Then what you will do, you can't write the thing again and again that sum equal to a plus b for then, and then after that for other numbers you will write a sum equal to a plus b again and again. So instead of that you can define a simple function. Now we'll make a program in a function dot c. So I had misspelled the spellings. So function function dot c. So we'll see the program from here. So what it is saying is we have to declare the function and then call the function and then definition of the function. So you have to do these things by yourself. I will just perform the program and then tell you what will happen in that function. So let us see this program here. So we will just use this program. Like I'm copying it and pasting it. You can run the program by yourself. Like I'm copying it and pasting it there. So what it is doing here. Now we will see here what it is happening. First of all, we can see here what is written here. Function declaration. First of all, a function must be declared globally in the C program. So what is local and global here? So whatever we are writing here inside the main function, that is known as local, and whatever is outside the main function, that is known as global. So first of all, we have to declare the program. If we will declare the program, then it will be declared as a globally. Mean to say that globally, if we want to access the function, so we have to declare it globally. After declaring it globally like this, print name is a function that is used here globally. So for function we use here the two brackets also. Every time when we have to use function, we have to use these brackets. So there it is written word main. We can also write it int main as we are using int main. So it's your choice. But if you are using Turbo C++, then we can write a word main. Then it is what it is doing is here is printf hello and then print name. So it is calling a function. What it is known as, first of all, it is known as declaration, that we are declaring a function here globally. So I will write it also. So I will also write it globally. And then what it is doing here is calling the function. So it is known as the calling. You can study from that what is calling. So function can be called from anywhere in the program. The parameters must be defined in function. So next is here is the calling. It is calling the function. And then the main thing is here that we have to define the function. What function will do exactly? So this is what function will do exactly here. So it is doing here printf name and then printf JavaScript. So what it is doing it here is this is the function name print name. So it is just printing here the Java T part. So we had just called it here and here we have just defined it. So we can define our function anywhere, here also, or here also. But if we are defining it outside this main function, then we use a declaration to declare it globally. So I will remove this declaration. Let it be. I will remove this and then cut it and paste it here. Then also this program will run. Let us run this program. So let us run this program. So you can see here, first of all, hello will be printed and then Java point because hello is written here. Because hello is written here, you can see printf hello and then this function is calling. And in this function, we are printing Java point. So Java point is printing here. So that's why you can also do it like this. But if we want to define our function after the main function, then we have to declare it like this. So after that, now we will also see the parameter list and how we can pass the parameters in the function. So this was simple printing function here. Now I will write a new program, parameter function dot c. So for that, I will start my program from here. So for that, now I will not declare the variable because I am just defining my function here. So we will just write our function name here. So before that, we should must see the syntax of that. What is the syntax of that? Return type, then function name, the data type, and then parameter. So first of all, we will write a return type int because we have to return the value here int, and then function name that will be sum, and then we will write here the data type and then variable name, and then again data type and then variable name. So now we will write here a new variable also here, sum equal to tail plus b, and then we will return the value. So why we had written a return type? First of all, it was void. You can see here in the function, it was void. Why void? Because it is not returning anything. It's not returning anything. But here, when we will use here, it is returning something. Like we will return it here, return, and then sum. So here we are returning the value. That is an integer value. That's why we had written an int. And after that, we have to also use these variables. That's why we have just passed these arguments, or we can say parameters here. And now we'll use it. We will see the actual use of that, like sum, and then semicolon here, and then this in this brackets we will enter the value of a and b. Like a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. And now we will run the program. So now you can see it here. The program will run. So output is nothing. Why output is nothing? Because we had returned the sum, but we had not printed anything. So we can write it here. Variable name int sum 1 equal to this. So now what will be done here is the value of this will be stored in this sum 1. And now we will print this sum. So printf and then percentage d comma sum 1. Now the value will be stored here and then printed. So now let's see it is printed or not. Again the error has came of printf. I have not written here d. So now we will run this program. So you can see it here. 30 is printed. 10 plus 20, 30. Now if we want to run this again, then what we will do? We will just copy this and then paste it. If I have to run this 5 times, I have to change the values. Now I will do it 20 plus 20. It will be 40. So I am writing here comment also. First of all, value will be 30 and then value will be 40 and then value will be 50. So let it be 3. We will do only 3. So for that, now we will change their value to 30 and here let it be 25 and 25. So I will do it at 25 and here also 25. So now we will run the program. For that, we have to change the variable name also, sum1, sum2, and sum3. And then we will print this all also. So for that, I will use as backslash n also to print it in the next line. And now we will paste the program. Now sum2 and sum3. And then right click and then we'll format that. And now we will run this. So let's see what is output 30, 40, and 50. So now you have to, now I think you have understood that how to use the functions, how to pass the values, arguments to them, how to return the value. So now we will see the next thing, that is array. So you can see here what is array. Array is defined as a collection of similar type of data items stored in contiguous memory location. So what is array is? Where is a collection of data what is it is a collection of data, but which data? Which is of similar data type or same data type. So now here I will write a array program also to show you what is array. So now we will write an int a, and then how we will use the array. So for array we have to use these brackets. You can see here brackets, and then we will specify the number of things that we want to enter. Okay, I have to enter 5 values and then equal to, and then in these curly braces what we have to write here, the values of a. So we can pass the values of a different values, like first value is 10, then another is 50, then another is 30, then another is 55, then another is 24, and then in end semicolon. So this is about the array. So this is how array is defined or initialized, and then now we will print the value of array. So printf, and then percentage %d, comma. So for array, what we will do it here is a, and then if we want to print the value of first one, so we will write a index of first one. So we will do the 0. So always array value started from 0, and then it is for 0, it is index for 1, this 2, 3, 4. So value of this is like this. So this will print 10, and then if we want to print 50 for that second one, so for second is 1 value, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. So this is how we will print the separate values of this array. So let us see separate value printed. Yes, separate values are printed, but we had not used yet \n. So we will use a \n so that it will be printed after a line. So now we will run it again. So you can see it there 10, 50, 30, 55, 40. This is how we can use our array by using it like this. So you can also see the syntax of array so that you will be more clear about that. So what it is saying? Data type, array name, and array size. As we had initialized it, data type, array name, and array size. And after initialization, declaration, and after that we have to also provide the values. So for values, we can provide values like this also. Like separate values we can provide like this, like a1 equal to 10, and then a2 equal to 30, like this. But I had provided it in the while line, so you can also provide it in the while line. And after that, so this is about array. So you can read more about array from here. So what I have to tell it here is always arrays index start from 0. Mark the words in your mind that in array index always start from 0. So it will be at index 0, then 1, then 2, 3, and 4. So this was about array, and now we will finally see our last thing here that is important in C language, that is pointers. So you can see pointer. Pointer in C language is a variable which stores the address of another variable. So as you can see it here, if we want to scan any value, we want to take input. So we also define it like this, and then variable name. What is it is doing? It is showing us the address of that variable where it is storing there. Similarly, now we can create a variable. So now we can create a variable. Like let me first create the program. Let me first create the program here. Pointer.c, and now we will start it. So now we can see here what it is, like int n equal to 10, then int star p is equal to and n. So what it is doing here, when we will start a variable with star p, then it is showing that it is a pointer variable that is pointing to some other value, and like this n is having the address that is and n. The address is stored in this value. So we will now store the address in this value, this p variable. So this is how we can start a pointer. So let me start as the pointer like int. First of all, I will just start with a variable like int n equal to 10, and then semicolon. Now we will print it here is printf, and then we will print a %d, comma n. So what it will print it here is it will print the 10 number. So you can see it will print the 10 number. But now if I will use it and n, so now what it will print? It will print the address of this one. So you can see here, this is the address of this number 642230. What it is showing is it is the address of this number. So this is how it is working here. So there is a memory location where it is stored, that is the address. So this is the address of this number. And now if we want to print the address of this number by using any variable, then we can use the pointer like int star p equal to and n. So what we have done here, we can also declare the variable like this int star p, and then we can assign the value like p equal to and p, but we are doing it in the single line so that you can also know that how to do it in a single line. So what value it can take? Star p variable is a pointer variable, so it can't take a simple integer value, but we are using an integer specifying it that the value that we are going to store in here is the address we are going to store is of a integer value. Like n is an integer value, that's why we had written it int p, so that the address of the integer value will be stored with. So we had written as and n. So what it will do is it will just store the value of n. So what it will do is it will not store the value of n, but it will store the address of n. So now p is pointing to n. So now we will just print it again so that we can see what is stored in the p. Now we will just here write a slash n so that it will print in the next. Now I will print here the p value. So let's see it is showing as the address or not. So you can see same value is printed again. So star p, we had initialized this variable to star p so that we can know that it is a pointer variable, and then we had just stored the value of address. So, and then we had to store the address of that n variable. So you can see address is also showing like this, also shown like this. Now let us use a character variable here. Let us store a value of a character. Let us store address of a character variable. I will do similar thing here, like char c equal to a. So now we had stored the value of this. Now we will print this. Printf. Now if we want to print the address of that, so you can use a percentage d. Printf percentage c, comma. So now printf percentage c, comma, and c. And now we will just run this program. So let's see what is happening. So this is showing us this sign. So it is just showing us a pointing sign. It can't show us the actual address. Why? Because we have not written a percentage d. For integer value printing, we have to write in percentage d. Now we will run it and see the address of that. So you can see the address of that is 95. Every value is same and it is storing it in the 95 location. 6642295 location. So this is the address of cat. Now we will do same thing here. Now we will create a new pointer variable int star. Let it be pt and then equal to and c. So now it will store the address of that variable. Mean to say that now pt will be pointing to the c. Mean to say that now pt can point to the c. So now we can just see the address of the that variable. So now we will just write printf, and then we will write here percentage d, and then pt, and then we will run the program. So we can see the same output should be there. So it is not showing us because cut kernel. So now we can see here pt. Now we can see the same output should be there. So you can see here it is showing us an error, initialization from incompatible pointer type. So it has shown us the error that pointer type is incompatible. Why? I have to show you this thing. For that I had just initialized the character variable so that I can show you that if we are storing the address of a character variable, so we have to write here char, not int. So we will write here char, and now we will see no error will be there. So now we will run the program. So there is no error. So let me use a slash n so that you can differentiate that I am okay or not. Now we will use it again. So now you can see it here that first two addresses are same because it is printing by this and also by pointer variable. And then next two addresses are also same because these are address of character variable. Instead of that, now if we want to print the value of that, for printing the value of that, what we can do is we will write a star pt. So star pt will just print the value of that character. That will be a. Let's see it is printing or not. So yes, it is printing the value of that, but in a sky value. So we have to convert it into a character. If we will write a percentage c and then run the program. So now yes, it is printing here the value of character, that is a. Then we will also print there the value of this also. So for that we will print here percentage d star p, and now we will print the value of integer also. So now you can see it here what is happening. First of all, the addresses are printed and then value is printed. And then again addresses are printed and then value is printed. So I had shown you properly that how we can use the addresses like this also, and by using the pointer also, and how we can print the value of that variable by using pointer also. So now P is pointing to N and here PT is pointing to C. So this is all the logic around the pointer. So people think that this is the difficult portion, but no, it is not so much difficult. If you will just read the documentation and do the program by yourself, so then you will not find it so much difficult. So this was all about the basics of C. If we want to learn more and properly, then what we have to do is, as I had told you earlier, let me open my, so I will just show you here only. I'm just creating a new file, how to learn yourself. So here I'm just writing some points. Like first of all, what we have to do is see any tutorial, not the video tutorial, but the documentation. This is known as the documentation that you are watching here. That in this one, this is known as the documentation. See any tutorial, but it should be documentation like this. This is a documentation. All the documents are there, and then what you have to do is then you write notes on copy. You have to write the notes on copy so that you can cover all the things and you can remember the things. After writing notes, perform practical on code editor. So you have to also perform the practical on code editor. And in the last, if you face any problem, if you face any problem if you face, then you can watch YouTube tutorials. Then you can watch the YouTube tutorials to cover your problem to see that if you are following any problem, so then how to solve it. You can watch the YouTube tutorial. If you are facing very big problem, then you can go to Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is a website. Let me show you. So whatever you will type here or whatever error you will show here, then so people are just replying there. So you can just see the replies in that and you can solve your errors. So this was all about C language. So thank you so much for watching this video till end. If you had watched this video from starting to till end honestly, then you can comment below that yes, I had watched this video from starting to till end. I will give a shout out to him or her in my next video. And the code will be provided you in my description. You can check the description. Thank you so much. And now we will meet you in the next video. Till then, keep learning.